The city prosecutor announced today the police shooting of Lindani Myeni on April 14th was justified, and there will be no charges against the 3 officers involved. Prosecutor Steve Alm says the bizarre string of events actually started about a half hour prior to the shooting at Kiwalo Basin. That's where at 7:42 p.m., 4 other officers went to investigate a call for an unauthorized entry into a motor vehicle, during which Myeni tried to intervene in the investigation, asked an officer for money for food, and tried to get into the back seat of an HPD vehicle. After that incident, investigators say Myeni drove directly to 91 Koala Way, where the shooting took place.
This is the entry to 91 Koala Way, a $3 million mansion situated in Hawaii, in the United States of America. On the 14th of April 2021, at exactly 8:07 p.m., 2 cars are captured by the property's front camera, pulling into the driveway of the home at roughly the same time. A few moments later, a male and a female appear in front of the house. Their names are Dexter Wang and Sabine Wang. The Wangs are an Asian couple who were on holiday in Hawaii. They occupied a short-term rental space in the property. As the couple is about to enter their home, a second male appears behind them, wearing a face mask and a traditional Zulu headband. The individual's name is Lindani Myeni. Lindani and his wife had recently moved from South Africa to Hawaii with their 2 young children. Lindani's wife was born and raised in Hawaii. Lindani, however, is originally from South Africa. Before Lindani goes inside the house, he does what many Hawaii residents do before stepping into someone's home. He takes off his shoes and then proceeds to follow the couple inside. Less than 40 seconds after he enters the home, Lindani is seen coming out the house. As he's coming out, Sabine Wang is heard saying that someone had broken into her house.
He's in front of our door and he said like some video and
8:09 p.m., the security camera times out. Less than 3 seconds later, Sabine Wang dials a 911 operator.
Police emergency. Hello, what's your address?
hello.
What's your address?
Please.
Do you know who they are?
He said he's Lindani. He said South Africa. I don't know whether he knows our owner or not.
Does he have any weapons in his hands, like guns, knife, bat, stick?
No, he said some silver things. I don't know what he means.
Is he yelling at you guys? Does he seem confused?
As Sabine Wang continues to talk to the operator, Lindani exits and is heard apologizing repeatedly.
What's wrong? Sorry. I know you guys. Can I see your phone?
He tried to go outside. I don't know.
You should be.
My wife is so afraid, and I don't know what's going on. And they don't understand. I don't know how to say this. And he say like, yeah.
The couple remain on their phones for a while. Lindani is seen exiting the home once again. He puts on his shoes and walks away into the dark as he says sorry one last time.
Sorry.
I don't think Dennis is home.
The Wangs both walk outside to see if Lindani is still there. Dexter Wang is on the phone with the landlord of the house. Wang tells him that Lindani apologized and left. Sabine Wang, meanwhile, continues to cry, telling the dispatcher that she's afraid to go outside.
Yeah, I see some cars is here. He's still in the community. I think the police officer can stop him. I saw a car in front of the door.
Okay. They're on the way. Do you remember what the car looks like?
I saw another people.
A few minutes later, at exactly 20:14 p.m., 3 police officers arrive. Sabine Wang is then seen directing them to Lindani's direction.
That's me. He's still in the car.
Where?
That's him. That's him. That's him.
Well, he's... Get on the ground, no! Get on the ground! Get on the ground, no!
The camera footage shows an officer pointing a handgun in Lindani's direction, who was still in the driveway of the house. It's dark, and only images illuminated by the officer's flashlight can be made out.
Where are you? Where are you?
Taser! Taser, taser, taser!
The camera shakes as Lindani begins to fight with the police officers. The video shows an officer deploying a taser, however it was ineffective as Lindani continues to fight.
Hey! Shoot him! Police!
The plane, arriving from Honolulu, Hawaii, landed in the city of Johannesburg 2 weeks later. It offloaded a plastic-wrapped casket carrying Lindani's remains. The youth contingent from the African National Congress waved a Black Lives Matter poster with his smiling face at the airport's cargo area. Lindani Myeni, his widow, clutched their 6-month-old baby and kept watch over their 2-year-old son as Mr. Myeni's close relatives held onto one another in grief.
Lindani's death has shook the world and sent shockwaves in the 4 corners of the globe. It is a sad indictment on Americans that their country continues to be associated with the senseless murder of black people by their police.
We call on the U.S. government to provide a full report as speedily as possible and to conduct a thorough investigation on this tragedy, which we condemn in the strongest terms, and that those found guilty should face the full might of the law and take accountability for this cruel act.
Born and raised in Yabambo village, deep in the heart of northern KwaZulu-Natal, 29-year-old Lindani Myeni was a professional rugby player. He began playing rugby at around age 13, playing for the provincial side. By the age of 25, he had played professionally with the Border Bulldogs and Jaguars rugby teams in South Africa. He met his future wife, Lindsay, back in 2016 at a hotel in the city of Durban, where Lindani was playing an away game of rugby. She was born and raised in Hawaii and the United States. Lindsay was in South Africa on a 3-day layover during a Christian missionary tour across the world when the young couple met in 2016. They got married 18 months later and spent their first few years in South Africa, residing in the Durban suburb of Empangeni. However, in January 2020, they chose to relocate to the United States of America. The decision to move to the US was partially influenced by the fact that Lindsay was offered a job selling real estate on the island of Oahu, where she had grown up. Lindani had felt targeted by the police in his new home country, even before his death in Hawaii. According to a teammate, he was arrested at a nightclub in Austin, Texas, while traveling with his rugby team, and then released without charges. And in Denver, he was constantly stopped by police on his way to rugby practice. According to Lindsay, the family were touring their new home city on April 14, 2021, the day Lindani was killed. They visited various locations, and even went to visit Queen Emma's Summer Palace, a museum which was nearby their house. In the small town of Leh, it is said that Lindani even baptized himself again in the ocean. On their drive back home, the couple stopped at a roadside shop that was selling wood sculptures. While they were still at the store, it is said that Lindani became fixated on a large wooden fish hook. At $250, it was too expensive for them, and they did not buy it. Lindani, on the other hand, continued to talk about it even after they returned home, stating that he needed spiritual protection, and that he wanted to go back and buy the hook. Later that evening, Lindani seemed frightened and uneasy, and according to his wife, at approximately 7:15 p.m., he went for a drive alone to clear his head. Lindsay stated in an interview with the city's medical examiner that Lindani had no known health problems. She also disagreed with the idea that Lindani was in an altered state of mind, including claims that he had used drugs that night. She even denied any significant depression or suicidal ideations towards her husband. However, she did mention that Lindani was stressed about several things that day. About 20 minutes before he was shot and killed by police officers, Lindani had a strange encounter with police in the parking lot of a local shopping center. Several officers were responding to a report of a car break in that area. Lindani had nothing to do with this case, but happened to be there. The body camera video starts with an officer who just arrived on the scene at about 7:40 p.m. He is startled because Lindani tries to get into the police vehicle.
Walking this way and I thought I should get in. I thought wrong, I'm sorry.
Can you get away from my car, please?
Sorry, sir.
Thank you.
The officer and Lindani are both polite and respectful throughout the exchange, which lasts about 3 minutes. After the officer exits the car, Lindani walks up to him.
Can I help you?
I was driven by a car and got me here.
Okay, you want to back up some? 6 feet? You have a face mask?
Oh, yeah.
The strange encounter gets even more puzzling when Lindani returns.
Do you need help with something?
Yeah, I need help.
With what?
I needed to find a boat or somewhere to meet people.
Can you get your hands out of your pocket, please?
Sorry.
What are you trying to do now?
I'm trying to find...
Who's that? Okay, do you have the phone number for that person?
Yes, sir.
Then you should probably call that person, because there's nothing I can do to find them, yeah?
20 minutes later, GPS showed Lindani driving to 91 Koala Way, where he was fatally shot by police officers.
And he said, "Tell them I'm from South Africa. I'm on a hunt. I'm on a safari." He lowered his feathered headband and said, "We're hunting. There's no time."
They've been saying it's a burglary to a house, and I'm like, this whole story makes zero sense. Why would you burglarize on someone when you have money and we have everything you need, and you were just with your wife the whole day? You're gonna come with a 12-minute robbery or something? That makes... I felt like that was a very childish move by the police department to cover up whatever they're hiding. So anyway, I had spoke to him. That was at 7:52. I looked back on my call log. That was 7:52. I didn't find out till the next morning, but the police reports that I saw said 8:10. He was already dead with 4 bullets in him. So tell me how 18 minutes you just leave your husband and you just get off the phone with him, and he's so close to your house. You're like 5 blocks from my house. You couldn't just, why, whatever reason he stopped by, you couldn't just let him go home. What? He was in his car. You approached him. Let him go home.